to face the fear. Mr. Cemetery's Terror Tales begins now.
Wow. My fiendish fright fanatics. It looks like you stumbled into my little crypt of chills once again. No, how do I love an audience, especially one with such taste. But tell me, have you ever had a nightmare that lingered? A terror so deep it slithered in your bones, whispering in the dark, reminding you you're never really alone. Tonight's tale is all about a skeptic who learns the hard way that some legends aren't just stories, they're warnings. And when you ignore the signs, well, let's just say something might take an interest in you. An interest that doesn't end when you wake up. An interest that doesn't end at all. So grab a blanket, turn out the lights, and then whatever you do, don't look out the window. You never know what might be looking back. And I call this one Not Done Yet. Enjoy.
And I used to think the Mothman was just another urban legend. Some internet creepypasta for conspiracy theorists and cryptid hunters. And I don't think that anymore. It started with a stupid horror forum, and I was scrolling in bed, reading post after post about the Mothman. Glowing red eyes, giant wings, and always seen before a disaster. Some people thought it was a warning, and others believed it caused the deaths. And I snorted. Yeah, right. It was like Bigfoot at the Jersey Devil, just another hoax. And I turned off my phone, and stretched, and I froze. The blinds were shut, but for a split second, I swore I saw something. A shape, wings spread wide, just beyond the glass. A chill ran down my spine. Then I shook my head. Man, I gotta stop reading this junk. I didn't believe in the Mothman. Not yet. The first real sign was the smell. My dad and I were driving home when the air inside the car thickened, rank, like the stench of rotting meat. My dad gagged.
Ugh, you smell that?
And I nodded, covering my nose.
It's like something died.
Then, a shadow passed over us, and I looked up. Something crouched on the overpass, hunched, watching. Two massive, glowing red eyes flickered to life. Then, my dad jerked, his whole body spasms, his hands clenched to will. The car flipped. Darkness. When I came to, something warm dripped onto my face. Blood. And I turned my head. My dad's skull was split open, peeled back like an overripe fruit. His eyes were gone. Through the shattered windshield, I saw it. The shadow, watching. Then, and it flew away. I didn't tell my mom what I saw. I didn't tell her about the dreams. The ones where I was strapped down, ribs cracked open like an autopsy, my heart still beating as those red eyes stared down at me. She wouldn't believe me. But then, I came home and found her in the kitchen, frozen, staring at the window.
No.
She whispered.
No.
I followed her gaze. A claw, long, jagged, tapping on the glass. She screamed. Her body snapped rigid, her muscles locked. Her spine arched so far back, it should have snapped. Then blood gushed from her mouth. She crumpled, twitched. The tapping stopped. The window was empty, and I begged my sister Sarah to leave town. She didn't believe me. But then, the power went out. Then, Sarah's voice shook.
Dean, what was that?
My stomach knotted. Then something slammed into the wall. Sarah screamed. Then it was inside. I grabbed her arm. Run! I sprinted through the hallway, but the air rippled. Sarah's body seized. Her eyes rolled back. She opened her mouth, but no scream came out. Then her head was gone. I collapsed. My breath hitched in my throat. The darkness shifted. Red eyes, tripping claws. Sarah's head dangled from its grasp, her mouth still moving. Silent, wordless screams. I gagged. Mothman smiled. Then it spoke.
Not done yet.
And I turned to run, but the walls melted. I wasn't in my house anymore. I was in a field. The one from my nightmares. The sky shifted, pulsed, and I looked down. I was strapped to a table. My ribs were open. My heart was still beating. And above me, the red eyes burned. I screamed. Then I woke up in my bed, breathing hard, heart pounding. I bolted upright, clutching my chest, expecting to feel raw, open flesh, but there was nothing. No blood, no scars, just me. I tried to tell myself it was a nightmare, but Sarah was gone. The police never found her body. They never found my mom's either. And every night since, I see those red eyes watching me, waiting. I don't know why it let me live. And I don't know what it wants. But I know one thing. And I wasn't spared. I was claimed.
Well, my dear dreadfuls, looks like our poor friend learned the hard way. When the Mothman sets his sights on you, there's no outrunning fate. And you think you're safe just because you're listening from the comfort of your home? Well, let's just say, you might want to check the ceiling. If you survived tonight's story, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your fiends. And after all, horror is much more fun when you're not the only one losing sleep. No, and be sure to tap that notification bell. Just don't hit it too hard. You wouldn't want it ringing back from outside the window. And if you're feeling brave, check out our merch, because nothing says I tempted fate daily like a hoodie that keeps you warm, even when something's breathing down your neck. Until next time, remember, if the red eyes find you, don't scream. It likes it when you scream.